to go locked out.
Hi, welcome back this week. We are very, very unorganized this week. I haven't even got my iPad.
Hang on a minute, I'm going to bed.
No, it's all right. I'll use my phone. So what I'm going to do is use my phone for the portrait picture because I've just come out of the house. So I'm fighting with the dog to try and get her in the cage. Yeah, so I was fighting with the dog to get out the door and I've completely forgotten to bring my iPad with me. So I do apologise. I'll use my phone, which will be absolutely fine. This week, we are going to be doing the cheek and part of the ear of the little boy. So we're going to be doing this section here, and then hopefully we'll move on to the ear section. So what I'm going to do is just get straight on that. If I can have this camera here.
No, you can't.
Okay, maybe not. We'll speak to you a little bit longer then. So, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kez. This is Phil. If you're old here, welcome. I'm Kez, and this is Phil.
I'm still organising pictures for you.
So he's just putting up a picture in the corner of the cheek section and the ear section of this little boy, so we can get on with it, basically. Yeah, just gonna plug this in over here because I unplugged it earlier. Have you on? Have I got the overhead camera?
Yeah.
I have now.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Been there ages waiting for you.
Okay, fine. Great communication skills. Can you see? So what we're going to do is we're going to do this section here and the ear. I'm just going to pull my picture up on my phone. I'm going to be using the Peter Child's machine. And
hopefully we've got a picture of where you're working now.
Yeah, I've got that now. What I'm going to do is use the Peter Child's machine just with this loop. It's like a rounded square. Not quite sure. We've got this on. I'm going to go for a 3.5, and we're just going to turn this on. Okay, so I'm going to let's zoom this in a little bit and move that up and across. There we go. We're good with that, aren't we? So we're just going to fill this section in. Now, this is just a lot of shading because that's how human portraiture. Yeah, portraiture. That sounds weird.
Get your words right today.
I need to put my teeth in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag down with the grain to try and just to smooth out the shading. So we want to keep this as smooth as possible. There's no pressure on this pen, just very light pressure. So it's literally just the weight of the pen, and I'm just using my fingers to maneuver it down. So I am going to shut up a minute and let Phil take over and say hello to everybody.
Well, joining us this afternoon, we have Wayne, Bigfoot Woodcraft, and Auntie Valerie.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Valerie.
We have Bitten.
Hi, Bitten.
We have Andrew from AGK Woodwork.
Hi, Andrew. And Debbie, if you're there.
And we have Rob from Cleansboro Abrasives.
Hey up, Rob.
And we have Jacked Up Leatherworks, Jacob.
Hey up, Jacob.
Says, okay, everything is good. I've arrived.
It is now. All good.
That is the only people chatting for the moment.
Ooh, well, if you are new here and you've not said hello, please do say hello so we can say hi back again. That would be great. That would be great. So we're just pulling this down. This is obviously skin, and we've got a lot of shading in there. And as you can see from the nose that goes around up here, you can see in the picture it's darker than this section here. So we're just putting the first layers in over the lighter section now.
And Alex Wurzel Wood Butcher's joined us.
Hi, Alex. I hope you're doing okay this week. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay this week. We're just getting these first layers in. First layers of skin. And
before you ask, Alex, my 3D printer is doing the same as Huey's Hoover. It's still in the box.
Is Huey's Hoover still in the box?
He's been in there for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I'll try and get the 3D printer out before the 2-year mark.
I want a desk before the 2 years. You'll be fine. What he's trying to do is work out whether he's buying a desktop or whether he's going to glue all the pieces of wood together.
Yeah, and see how much space we got.
Yeah. So I'm just going with the grain of the wood because this wood's been a little bit tricky. So we're just going with the grain on the first pass just to get in the first layer of the shade and the skin. Skin, it's as long as you keep your strokes smooth, skin, it can be very good. But you just have to be careful of the different tones of the skin, because skin can change tones from, you know, one part of the picture to the other. It's not just flat, as you can see in the picture at the side. You know, all the different sort of like lighter shades on the sections, and even down this cheek section here is quite light on the picture. But then as you move into the nose, onto the nose and onto the lips, you can see it's a darker shade. So you've just got to, when you're doing skin, you've just got to be conscious that it can change at any point. So always keep referring back to your reference photo, because it can change so quickly and you can be burning along and you end up with a darker patch than you really need. I speak from experience.
You've been there, done that.
I have done that a fair few
Wayne
times.
says I could have printed a blooming desk by now. Lucy Bundy Rose joined us.
Hi, Lucy. How are you doing? But yeah, so always check back with your reference photo as much as possible. Yes, just so you get it right, get the shades right.
Don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions, drop them in the chat with the queue at the beginning.
Yours.
We'll see if we can get her to answer them.
I can answer them. I normally answer them.
And Rob says, hey, Lucy, AK Troublemaker.
Half
She's a half-pint troublemaker.
pint.
She's only half a troublemaker.
Are you supposed to watch out for the small ones?
There is that.
Move that up a bit. I wonder if I can go in a little bit further. Yes, I can. Is that better? Just that little bit further in. Yeah. You can see.
You might be able to see the transition a bit better.
Yeah, it's just seeing the lines going in, because I can see them in person, but obviously what I see and what the camera picks up is something different. So it's just keeping these lines nice and smooth. Like I say, there's no pressure on this pen. It's just literally the weight of the pen. And I know I say that every week, but it really is. And a lot of people get stumped by the pressure of the pen. You know, you assume that if you want it darker that you have to, you know, press harder, but you really don't. Move that up there, because I'm going to come down this side just here. We're going to add, we've already added one layer in, and we're just about to add the second layer in, just on this side going down here. Just on the side of the jaw. So what's everybody been up to this week? Anything good? There we go, just adding those in there. You can see that second layer going in a little bit more now, can't you? I've been teaching the kids at school how to do pyrography, and this last Tuesday, just gone, I had one of the girls, and she's always been really, really interested in turning and never really interested in doing a pyrography. And this week, I found out that she'd got cats. Now, when she's been with me, she was just really, really quiet, and prefers to be turning. As she told me, she's not very arty. Well, I'll show you a picture at the end of her cat that I managed to get her to do, because she has come on leaps and bounds just by spending a couple of hours with me, because she hasn't really spent a lot of time
Have you
with
actually
me.
got the picture?
I've got the picture on my phone, yeah.
Ah.
So it'll be a bit of a phone shot, but it was really surprising on how much that she'd taken in. Even then, she still swears that she doesn't like art, but I think she's done really, really well. So just adding those layers in just here. Just move that up a little bit, because I'm just going to go down the bottom of this jaw bit here.
I'll say you're doing some moving around today.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I think, well, it's because I've zoomed right the way in with the camera. So just making sure that you can see where I'm going. That's it. Just making sure I'm going with the grain, because this one's been a bit tricky.
There's little soft bits in the grain, isn't it?
Yeah. And when I've done the scrambling motion, it's, as I've done circular motions, it's kind of skipped over a little bit of the grain, although it was sanded to the normal.
You mean you forgot what you sanded it to?
No, I sanded it to 320. I hadn't forgot, just saying it was normal. My normal, anyway. So let's get some in here. Oh, we're actually quite dark on this.
Alex says he's been trying to get through all the bureaucracy and forms needed to try and get my mother in a home for some respite. Finally managed to get a video call with somebody next week.
They're so hard though, aren't they? They are so hard. They just don't want to help. Well, I hope all goes well with your call, Alex. So just adding extra layers in there, just nice and softly. Just soft lines. Still got this machine on a 3.5. I haven't changed it, because it's actually adding these lines in really, really nicely. Well, lines, the shading. Technically shading, even though it's in lines. There we go. Adding that nicely. Just go a little bit. So what I'm going to do is zoom out just a little bit. Take that down. Because what I'm going to do is there's a section that comes across the cheek. So we're just going to grab that section in now. Make sure we get that extra layer in.
Lisa says unpaid carers are just taken for granted, but who cares for the carer?
Yeah, that's the one. And you say you need respite. You really, really do. I mean, you're trying to carry on with normal life as well as look after somebody that you love, and it's pulls on your heartstrings. So just.
Bitten says it's the same problem in Denmark. Difficult to get to the system to answer.
Yeah, because they just see you as able-bodied, and you can do it, and your family, and you should do it. But at the end of the day, you have obligations to other people in your family. If you've got your children or you know, or you know you need to work and stuff like that. It's hard, really hard. So that's adding in nicely now. You can see that's coming up on the camera. Just making sure that these are nice and blended.
Alex says he knows that feeling as he's got a psychiatric appointment for next week.
I really do wish you well, Alex. I really do. It's really hard. There we go. I think we spend most of our younger life looking after kids, don't they? When you get to a certain age, you stop looking after the kids and you look after the parents instead, don't you? There we go. So getting that in there nicely. So it's starting to come along with this second layer of shade.
So Bitten says she's given up on Mel Gibson and started the portrait of her daughter.
Brilliant. How's it coming along? Any of you guys that are in the Facebook group, please feel free to add your pyrography pictures or whatever you're making, wherever you're at and things like that. You are more than welcome to add your stuff into the group. Show us what you've been doing and what you've been making. And if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to voice them in there as well.
Yeah, Rabbi has joined us.
Hi, Rabbi.
Says, wow, great progress, guys. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for coming back.
I was just going to say, it should be us thanking you.
Yeah. So just adding the extra layers in. It's all about layering and layering gently.
Well, Lucy says to Alex, as Rob says, we're all as mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah.
I think his reply was, trouble is, Lucy, I really am.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
And Rob says, is my laser classed as a big pyro machine?
Unfortunately not, Rob. I'm sorry. There we go.
I suppose in one respect it is, because you've got to understand how to shade.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You've got to program it to do it. Rob says, damn.
Sorry, Rob.
And Bitten says, fine, it's not perfect, but it's on its way.
It does matter whether it's perfect or not. And you don't tell anybody about your imperfections.
No, she tells me off about that.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about your imperfections. And then nobody will ever know. I have lots of imperfections even in my work, but just don't tell anybody about it. We can always, I think with ourselves, we're always the hardest on ourselves, aren't we?
I think everybody is.
Yeah. We're always the hardest on ourselves.
Yeah, you make a mistake and you kick yourself.
You do. And it's natural. And, it takes time to sort of go, okay, I'm going to leave that. Job done. Won't say a word. And others don't see your imperfections. They don't see the bit that you're kicking yourself about. And sometimes you can be really, really cringy. I know you do, don't you? You really cringe at some things. And I go, yeah.
Rabbi says, guys, I've just finished dinner. What's the time at your place? Are you guys full or hungry? At the moment, hungry.
Yeah, it's coming up for dinner time. It's 4:20 in the afternoon. And we will be finishing this live at around 5, and then normally we go straight in and start making tea or dinner. So we're all hungry at the moment.
And Bitten says she's got a very critical 17-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, there's critical of herself or critical of you? We've got a 18-year-old, and he can be quite critical of us, can't he? And himself.
Mm.
I think he's just grumpy, really. He's like one of the when you read the kids' books, and you got the sort of the grumpy dinosaur because they've got toothache. He's just typically one. He just walks around like that all the time, doesn't he?
It seems that way. I think he's just because he's a teenager.
I think he takes after his dad.
Cheers.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So here we go. You can see that that's starting to add the layer in there. So we're just going to go underneath a little bit more, under here, and add some more layers. Just to bring
Lucy's been to work as the food truck was there today and does an amazing Sunday roast. Plus it was a customer birthday and we were invited.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Where'd you work, Lucy? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to say.
All right, so Bitten says she's asking if I can change a few things. She doesn't think it looks like her. It might not do yet.
No, it won't do yet. Work your way up. You do good.
They all go through stages where they don't look right as you're working on them.
Yeah, yeah. They do. This one doesn't quite look right at the moment, but especially when you first start an area, it's like the eyebrows and stuff. Can't even see the eyebrows, can you? Yeah, it's like the eyebrows and stuff when you first kind of like start an area, until you start building the layers up. They tend to look a little weird, and they go through the ugly duckling stage, is what I call them. But it's not because the person's an ugly duckling; it's because the way that you layer things and the way the art works. And I think that applies to anything really, because I mean, like if you turn in and stuff, you have to knock off the edges and you have to make it round, but it still doesn't look quite right, does it? Until you've started shaping it properly and things like that. Mm. So just going to add some there. What we're going to do is add
also
in here, and then
Lucy works at Dark Revolution, a local brewery and tap room.
Nice.
Does amazing beer.
Cool. Can't remember the last time I had a drink.
I can't remember the last time you had a drink.
I don't know. I don't think it was last Christmas. I think it might have been the Christmas before.
Oh, Bitten says she's hoping to finish it this week. She's in Japan with her boyfriend and his family.
Oh, wow. I've got a 14-year-old that wants to go to Japan. He's saving up his money at the moment. And so when he's 18, he can go, apparently. How well that goes, I don't know. But
he'll find something else to spend it.
I don't know. He doesn't do bad.
Because when we see you next, I'll bring you a can of beer for both you and Phil. Thank you, Lucy.
That'd be great. You're at Newark, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, it is Newark, yeah.
Yes, it's Newark, the next show.
I'm actually really excited for Newark. I get to walk around. Probably get there and be bored. You walk around all day like, yeah, I've had enough now. But it'd be nice to socialise with everybody as well. Normally I don't get a chance to do that because you're kind of conscious of being paid to stand around talking to your friends. So it'll be really, really nice to not have to worry about that. Although we'll have 2 of the kids with us, so we may have to be worried about them too instead.
Oh no, Lucy's not going to do it now.
Oh, are you not going?
Shame.
It's a shame.
I'll have to see you at Maker Central then.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll be working Makers Central.
We will.
Yeah. Well, we might be. It's in talks. So just adding these extra layers in there just to darken this this section down a little bit. As you can see, it's still quite dark in comparison to what it is. So we got dark section here that comes around, and then down here. So we're just filling this in basically. And I'm just going to do is slow down a little bit, because the slower you go, the darker the burn. The faster you go, the lighter the burn. So I'm just going to slow down a little bit. So I'm not changing my temperature, but I'm changing the speed of the pen.
Lucy says they're at Makers on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And Rob says 2 cans of Lucy beer and you need stabilisers.
Yeah.
And Wayne says that Stephen went to Japan 2 years ago. He loved it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a really nice place. I've never fancied it myself. Never fancied it. I quite fancy Australia at some point. But the kids don't want to go to Australia because apparently they don't want to be eaten by animals. That's what they told me. They don't want to go to Australia because they don't want to go be eaten by the animals. Oh, stay away from the animals then. Or certain animals anyway.
Guys, so Rabbi says, guys, have you ever done pyrography for the Hot Wheels logo?
No. No.
Don't tend to do logos, do you?
No. Are you going to have a try, Rabbi? And show us. Show us what you do.
Wayne says, sorry guys, got to go. Visitors have just arrived.
Oh, okay, Wayne. See you soon.
Take care, mate.
There we go. Just adding in these extra layers. It takes time to add in these layers, but it's definitely worth adding them in, and at a sort of slower rate rather than a really fast rate.
Yeah, Jacob says there's some big crocs down under.
Yeah, they are. That's the bit that they're bothered about, the crocs and the spiders. So, and I was like, oh, I'm not quite sure how a spider is going to eat you.
Some of them might try.
Yeah, but it's just the way that the kids say it. They might eat them. And it's as if they're going to get this big, massive jaw and go, oh, and as a whole child, it's like, no.
And Jamie from JP Woodworks joined us.
Hey up, Jamie Pie. How are you and Vicky? So just adding in these layers down here. It's lots and lots and lots of layers when you're doing skin. There's lots and lots and lots of layers for pyrography, full stop.
Oh, apparently Jamie was on next week's live.
He was on next week's live.
He was sitting there waiting on next week's live.
Brilliant. You're a week early, Jamie. Oh, dear me. That's fab.
So I'm going to go on there in a bit and see a comment from Jamie saying, hey, hey.
Yeah. That's definitely early bird entry, isn't it?
I'm just trying to get the first one in.
Yeah. It was, literally.
And he says he preferred to think of that as keen and eager rather than early.
Yeah. So we're just adding lots and lots of layers in. Oh, the watch is beeping. It's telling me to go cook dinner, actually. Just adding lots and lots of layers in just to build up gently. Because that way we've got more control of how it burns. More control of the different shades within the skin tone. And the more control we've got over that, the better.
Lucy says, Phil, Andy says, have you got to start the box yet? No, we've had that conversation at the very start.
No.
It's pretending to be Huey's Hoover. It's still in its box.
Yeah. You've got to build a desk yet?
Well, I will get on to starting to design the desk next week so I can get started.
He's got to build a desk to then so it can stand on something.
Yeah, at the moment I've got nowhere to put it.
Yeah. Well, you haven't got anywhere to put it that the kids aren't going to touch it, the little ones, or the dog's not going to eat it. So, you know.
It has been briefly out of the box.
Yeah, you took a peek and then put it back again. That's because the kids arrived. Logan was like, "What's that? What's that?" There we go. So we're starting to look a little bit better on there, aren't we? So what I'm going to do is bring this layer up a little bit more, just so it's not as harsh. Because this bit here is a little bit harsher on that than I'd like. So we're just going to add a layer in there just to blend it from one tone to the other. And there we go. That's looking a little bit better. Still need to blend a little bit more. So just blend that a little bit.
I think he's pick on Phil Day again.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll just do background noise for a change. Just move that down a little bit. There we go. Just. I think you've decided that you're doing it a metal frame now, haven't you, the desk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought you had. I never know, I just leave him to it.
Lucy says, it doesn't know what he's missing, does he? In reply to Alex. And Alex says, Kez will never see him well.
See you?
Me.
Oh, no. No, well, I will, actually, because the desk that he's got to build is in the dining room, so we at least eat dinner in there. I might see him at dinner time, sat at the desk eating your dinner. There's a rule in our house. All the kids go off and do their own thing, and we're quite happy for that. And quite often they're all in their separate rooms doing their thing on their own computers and doing whatever they need to do. But the rule in our house is that when dinner is done, everybody sits to the table still. So we all sit to the table and we all eat dinner together. So we can at least see each other. So the kids they're not allowed to take the dinner to the desk. We don't take our dinners to desks or anything like that, do we? It's always eaten at the table.
Yeah.
So he probably would bring his 3D printer to the table instead of the dinner to the desk, actually.
No, just leave the 3D printer working away on its shelf.
That's if Logan hasn't got it printing for peeing.
Well, that's going to be the problem, is me getting my stuff done when the kids are around.
There's only Logan that wants it. No, Logan's the 14-year-old. So he's been wanting a 3D printer, hasn't he, for got to be about 18 months now, hasn't it? It's been quite a while. So, and he was looking at the very same printer as what you bought, and he didn't know it until they actually spoke about it. Had you already ordered it?
I think I had.
Yeah, Phil had already ordered the 3D printer, and then Logan came out with the same printer going, I've been looking at this. So it was quite, what's it? And Phil was like, I've already ordered that. So it's quite
Apparently Andy
exciting.
says it's no excuse.
What, that you got no desk?
Yeah.
If you should see our dining room, it is literally just a shell of a room. We've built in one cupboard, but when we moved in, it was literally just a shelf. There's no shelves. There's nothing. It's so plain, isn't it, and boring. You know, everything that we have to do, everything that we need. There's not even storage space on the window ledge because it's like a double window ledge, so you can't even stand your ornaments on. It's really weird room.
We bought the A1 Mini, Rob.
We say you did.
Yeah.
I had no say, but that's because I don't know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't really matter to me, does it?
And Lucy says Kerr's 3D printing is classed as STEM, so it's educational.
That's pretty cool. I can use that as schoolwork.
Just means when I want to print something, there will always be something else printed.
No. We just make sure that Logan only prints it during his school hours. I didn't realise it was classed as STEM. That's really good to know. When I have to report to the LA on what they're doing, that's quite good. So just adding in these extra layers, it's just the same as what I've been doing. As you can see, it's not actually, there, you can see that a little bit better there. Look. You can see it starting to come in down here, can't you? So what I'm going to do actually is I am going to turn this up, but I'm only going to turn it up to a 4. So I was on a 3.5. I'm just going to turn it up to a 4, just so you guys can see the layers going in just that little bit quicker. There we go. Just adding these in just to darken these sections down just a little bit more. So we've got like the main shade in, but then we need to just add these extra dark bits where it's really dark in there.
You lost the microphone.
Not hard, they are only little.
Yeah, Lucy says, Andy sent you a picture, Phil. I'm just bringing it up so I can show Kez. Yeah.
Nice.
He now has 2 running.
I've got 2, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool space to have it in as well, isn't it? We have to wait for the kids to move out and then you can have a room to yourself.
No, you're right.
You don't want a room to yourself?
I've got a room to myself.
You're Harry Potter, you've got a cupboard under the stairs.
Still a room.
Our office is the cupboard under the stairs because the cupboard under the stairs is actually really big. Well, it's really big for a cupboard under the stairs anyway.
I think Andrew from AGK's tried to talk Rob into buying more 3D printers.
Oh, right, okay. Are you in the market for another one, Rob? Or or was you quite content with the one that you've got?
No, he's looking at another one.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, might not be brilliant, I don't know. Depends on how much he has to spend. I suppose with anything, even 3D printers, it's, you have lots of them.
Yeah, so Rob says to Andrew that he can get one and then make sure it's all okay and then he can get one.
What?
Basically, he's asking Andrew to buy one and test it out, and then if it's
Right, okay.
he'll buy one.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way of doing it. How many printers have you got, Andrew?
He's only got one at the moment. Till Rob talks him to find another one.
Huh? I thought Andrew was talking Robin to buy him one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's confusing when I can't see the chat and.
Yeah, I'm seeing the chat going through.
Yeah, I know you're. Of course, I don't see the chat, so. There we go. So that's adding there nicely. Look, you see that?
Yep.
Yoff. Just add a little bit extra up here. Just gently going in with the shading. Just gently, gently. Just a darker.
Oh no, Andrew's running 2 now.
Oh, he's running 2, right. I thought he'd got 2, but I wasn't quite sure. Are the 2 different ones?
Lucy, we've got the A1 Mini, the bamboo.
He's got something in a box. Something in a box. Right, what I'm going to do is move that across. I can't move that across there. Move that one across there instead. And get some extra shading up here. There we go. There we go. Just getting that in. That's going in nicely now. I need to bring that up again on there. Right, what I'm going to do is actually go. That bit goes a little bit darker there, but it's his tragus, isn't it? The tragus there is actually a little bit lighter, so I'm just gonna go down darker on that section and leave the tragus lighter. There we go. Because normally the further back something is, the lighter it is. A general rule of thumb anyway, but it doesn't always work that way. But in this case, it does. So we'll roll with that. So still again, no pressure on this pen. There we go. There you go, that's looking okay, isn't it? There. And actually comes over this cheek a little bit. So we're just going to add some more in there.
Stop watching it on the monitor.
I was just making sure you could see it. I have to keep checking back on the, we've got a monitor in front, and I just keep checking back just to make sure you can see what I'm doing and where we are with things. Andrew sent you a photo now.
And Rob from Capora Woodburn has joined us.
Hey,
Afternoon,
Rob, how are you doing? Just making sure these are blended nicely, and with the cheek section as well as into the darker sections. Skin, although well, this particular skin is pale, it's actually quite surprising at how many different shades are actually in skin. Nice, you've deafened everybody.
Sorry. I did try to cover the mic.
Why don't you just press your pause button or your mute button on your what's it?
I didn't think of that. Not that intelligent.
There we go. It's just nicely blending that in. So when you go from the darker to lighter, it's not so kind of like a harsh line. So it doesn't look quite so weird. Like I say, you've got so many different shades in skin. It's like hair. There's so many different shades and layers to that as well. So just adding the extra bits in and blending at the same time. That's coming on nicely now, I think. So just show you what it looks like. There you go. So as you look further away, you can kind of see the sections coming down, and then obviously that section coming down there, and then you're starting to get this bit in here, but which would then make it like pop out. So
make it appear more 3D.
Yeah, pop out. Did I not say that? Told you I'm not very technical. There we go. Sometimes when you look at something really, really close up, it looks very, very different to when you kind of look at a whole area rather than sort of like a minute area. So what I'm going to do is go up here. And go up here, up the side of the head. And we've got actually a darker section here where the eye meets the eyebrow. Actually, your picture's not that. What's it, is it? So I'll tell you what, I'll come down this section because he's actually quite dark bits underneath his eyes, hasn't he? Look. So what we'll do is we'll bring this down here so we can get this blended into the cheek section as well as, because it all blends into one eventually. So still having to use the straight motion with the pen, just because of the way that the grain is with this particular piece of wood. It's a bit grumpy. Just dragging it down, just so the burn sits in the grain. Here we go. Just making sure that we get it to go over, because it's actually quite dark. Well, it is and it isn't. It's a darker patch of skin, should I say. It's kind of like in shadow, but not. I think it's just because where your eye socket dips in, it looks slightly darker. There we go. There we go. So then what we need to do is, because we've put that bit in, we now need to kind of blend that out off the side, off the top of the cheekbone.
Yeah, Lisa says she thinks everybody's captivated by Kez, as they're not chatting.
Oh, okay. There we go. So just blending it in nicely.
Keep going quiet on this today.
Yeah, just got a few tricky bits in the grain, and it's just making sure that it's getting in. You can kind of see the little lines going down there, and then you can see the lines coming down here. It's just trying to get those in without burning it too dark in one section. So just pulling it down. making sure the burn's in between the grain. I think, looking at that, I think this bit here just needs blending just a little bit more. So we're just going to go over that and blend it. My watch is actually telling me to stand up. You've been sitting down too long. Stand up. There we go. So just blend in nicely so it doesn't look like a harsh line. Because we don't want harsh lines. Realism is about avoiding the harsh lines and opting for the shade. There we go, just blending that top piece in as well. There we go. So that's starting to look okay now, isn't it? Just needs a bit of blending on that section there. I think that bit there was actually where my pen touched down and I wasn't ready. So we'll blend that in a little bit more, shall we?
That's a bit of a hot spot.
Yeah, yeah. See, even I still get burn blobs. If your pen's not in motion or you haven't blown the tip before you hit the wood, you end up with little blobs. So you just have to keep it in motion or blow the tip and then it stops that. And even sometimes I still come a cropper of it, as you can see.
Sure, you'll sort it.
Yeah, so it's just about blending it in, that's all. You either blend it in, or if it's too harsh and you've left it there way too long, you just scrape it back with a knife. Easily rectified.
You got 8 minutes to go.
Really? Wow, that's gone so fast. It's gone really, really fast. There we go. So just dragging this down, just to make sure it's plenty blended. Just add this little bit extra here for the, well, it's the eyebrow bone, isn't it? Essentially the bit, the eyelid, but underneath the eyebrow bone. There we go. So it's just, keep banging my head on the camera. I'll be going wobble, wobble, wobble in a minute.
Well, you haven't had your headband on today, so we haven't had that interfering with the camera.
Yeah, sorry, no, I didn't put it on. I didn't put it on this morning. There we go. It's looking pretty good now. Starting to pop out a little bit. Just go down this side here. Just fill in this. It's like it's got a little bit of a line where it's not quite burnt. I just want to fill it in and make it, just darken it down a little bit, because that part there is just a little bit further away, so it will be a little bit darker. But I don't want it too many shades darker, it's only a slight bit. There we go. There we go. And when we add a shade darker, we need to blend, unfortunately.
And Clive thinks Wallart's joined us.
Hey,
Says, sorry I'm late, Kev.
Hey up, Clive, how you doing, mate? Ain't seen you around for ages. How's the shed coming along? Or workshop, should I say. Just blending that line that we've just put in. Just so it blends in nicely. There we go. So what it's done is it added that little bit of a dark line down there. Then we blended it in. So it just makes it look like it's like that part of the face is just that part of the face is just that little bit further back.
Yeah, Sneak says he's busy in the workshop.
Is he? Nice. But you're enjoying your new space, mate.
He's got 2 more weeks to wait, and he'll have power in his workshop.
Ooh, exciting! That's when it really starts coming together. Your flow. A little bit around here that's darker. I think it's where he's smirking, isn't he? Sort of smirking, maybe? I don't know.
Bumbling away there in the background.
I wasn't quite sure whether he's smirking or not, but it's kind of like got a bit of a just a darker patch in there and the rest of it. So I'm just going to add that bit in, and obviously once we've added it in, we have to make sure we blend the edges.
A bit like smudging when you're using pencil, you're blending it in.
Yeah, yeah, you can smudge with a blend. Well, you blend with a blending stump, or you can actually the fabulous thing to blend with when you're using pencils is a makeup brush. Actually, blends absolutely.
Jacob says these hour-long sessions go by too fast.
They go by really, really fast. I think we're going to look at doing the odd ones through Zoom, which you guys can then join in. So you can ask questions live. You can your voice and everything will be there through Zoom. And you say we can just join in and talk, have the banter between us all. Sort of. If you guys are up for that. We're just trying to figure out the best way of doing it at the moment. But I think that, having them, even if we only have those kind of ones once a month, and they will be separate to these ones. So we'll do something completely different. Just so we can have that sort of like that better interaction.
You won't need me reading out all the questions then, will you?
No. Making you redundant, darling. That's all it is. But yeah, it's just sort of a bit more interaction. A bit more of a live lesson. If you guys want to join along, you can join along. If you're not, you just want to come for the chat, then, you kind of come for the live chat and a bit of banter and stuff like that. Just think it might be a bit more interactive.
Well, once we've got them planned, we'll get them posted in the Facebook group.
Yeah. Because these won't be going live to sort of everywhere, so they won't be on. Those ones will not go on YouTube at all. So it is completely separate to these ones that we're doing now.
So if you're not in the Facebook group, I'd go get there. The link's in the top of the chat.
If that's if you want to join in them, you can join in them, and you can still, if you don't want to chat, like voice chat or camera or anything like that, then you're more than welcome to just, there is a chat function like type box, then you can do it that way if you prefer.
You can still join in as you would
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you can still join in as you would now if that's how you prefer it. But it's just sort of something a little bit separate. But what we'll do is we'll do more focused work, like so specifically, you know, a pair of paws or, you know, ears or, you know, whatever you guys want to see, really. Not really any decisions made on that bit yet, but it's just what's in the works at the moment.
I think that'd be a question in the group as to what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, I think it will actually. It's a good idea. Good idea, Batman.
I do think occasionally.
Yeah.
Rob says I'm too shy for that.
He talks for England.
And Alex says, hope you can understand a country bumpkin.
Nah, that's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. If you can't understand a country bumpkin, we'd ask you to type it. He hadn't heard Phil's accent when he really lets it go.
Hey, I behave myself most of the time.
I know you do, but you're a country bumpkin too. Aren't you?
It's amazing how your voice changes, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done with that one for this week. There we go. What we'll do is just zoom that out. So that's what we have got. As you can see, the darker section there that we added in just adds to the illusion of it, you know, being 3D. Same with this side here that we've already added in. But then you've got, you know, there's sort of like the cheeks where it's the shine, which is the forefront of the face. Obviously the cheeks stand out a little bit more, and then we've got a little bit on the nose. But yeah, I mean, that's basically shading in a nutshell. So it's just lots and lots of layers and skin. As you say, you've got so many different tones. I mean, you've got it's kind of like you've got a lighter tone here and then slightly darker, and then as it comes round, you've got really, you know, sort of a lot darker. And even on your chin and stuff, you've got all the different sort of like tones. So just be wary when you are doing skin that you've just got to look for your tones. Make sure you keep referring back to your picture rather than going off.
Right, we'll talk to the pictures. You were bringing a picture up.
Yes, I was going to bring a picture up on my phone. Just give me a second. So this is the picture of what the young girl did. I can't name her for obvious reasons. But yeah, she did this. She did a cat. And she doesn't like art, and she'd not really done a great deal of art before, but I thought that was doing really, really well for her. I mean, she's at a SEND school as well, so, you know, done really, really well. To say she normally avoids me, actually. She normally gravitates to the turning because she just prefers turning. But yeah, that I thought that was absolutely fabulous that she'd done. I think she's about 13. So yeah, done really well with that. Really pleased. So, but yeah, that is us for this week. Next week, I can't remember what we've got in for next week. I think we've got hair in for next. I think we've got hair in for next week. So what I'm going to do is start getting the darker patches in, like the top of because his hair's spiky. Get the darker patches in first, and then we'll bring it out to the lighter. What we will do is turn the machine up slightly for the really dark patches of hair, because there's just so many layers to hair.
Snooks is thanking me for helping him out with his workshop at the beginning.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll send him down anytime. Means I get the workshop to myself. So, but we are back here next week, same time. I'm going to say same price then. It's not the same day. So Sunday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
And have a look out in the group. We'll get ourselves organised this week.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves organised this week at some point to get the Zoom things online so that we can have a bit more interaction, because I think that'd just be really nice, wouldn't it, to interact with everybody properly, instead of kind of reading it off the screen, which is great, don't get me wrong, but it just I like the interaction and the banter and, you know, the silly things like that. So
yeah, Sneak says he can't wait to try this out himself.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So, right, we will sign off for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope to see you again next week, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.